This video will show you how to make your self-portrait, your expressive self-portrait using chalk pastels. So remember, to start your self-portrait you need a photocopy of your picture, you need a pencil, and the first step that you're going to do is just use your pencil to shade in the entire back of your photograph. So after you've shaded in the entire back, you need a white piece of 9x12 paper. We need to turn it portrait, which means vertical or tall ways. And I like to put one piece of tape at the top so it doesn't move. Okay, once you have put your piece of tape at the top, you need to go over the contour lines. Now, once you've finished tracing all of the lines, they should show up on your paper. So you're going to take this off, but don't throw it away because you need to look at the light, the highlights, and the shadows. So this is one where I'm actually blowing a bubble. So now I'm going to trace over the lines and make them darker. Alright, now once I've finished tracing over the contour lines, if you want to use chalk pastels to make your portrait look more realistic, then you can get a piece of newspaper. Now I love chalk pastels, but they can be extremely messy. And you're actually going to be using your finger to kind of blend the colors together. So to get started, I pick a color that kind of matches my skin. My hands are usually not blue, they're peach. So I'm going to start with a peach, but I'm also going to use a little bit of pink. These are called neutral colors. Black, white, brown, peach are all neutral colors. So you want to start with your skin. I've taken the peach. I'm going to use a darker color like the brown. And I'm just going to go over and add some darker parts around the edges. Now, chalk pastels is important to build up layers so that you can actually blend the colors lightly with your finger. So look at your picture and try to see where the dark parts are, like under your nose, under your chin, and use the darker colors there. Now you can see all of the powder that's building up on my portrait. I need to tap my paper. Don't blow the powder, tap it. Now that looks pretty good, but I need to go back in and add some white to the highlights. So there's a highlight on your nose. Alright, now I can color in my eyes. You do not want to blend the colors in your eye because those are very small details. Leave those alone. Now I'm going to do my hair. After I finish shading in my hair, I'm going to add white, more highlights. If you have lighter skin, mix more white. Now my shirt, I can color any color I want. Like let's say purple. Now I'm going to get a brown chalk pastel and go over the darker parts very carefully using the tip of the brown chalk pastel. Once you're finished shading in your skin, your hair, your eyes, and your shirt, you need to start thinking about the background. Now if you're like me, you probably have a lot of chalk smudge marks in the background. So I'm going to add bubbles to my background, but first I'm going to mix a little bit of pink with the purple on my shirt. Now I'm going to get the oil pastels once I'm done shading in my shirt. And you can't mix oil and chalk, but oil pastels work really well in the background. And if you just like oil pastels, they work great, especially when you want to paint. So after I finish shading in all of the bubbles in the background using oil pastels, then I'm going to get the watercolor paint, and you can paint right over top of them. I'm also going to shade in my hat with oil pastels because it's a little easier to control the black, and my hat of course is black. Ready to get my watercolor and paint the background. All the space around it is called the negative space, so I'm going to paint it blue. This is the turquoise blue watercolor paint, and since the background I colored using oil pastels, I can paint right over top of it because oil and water won't mix. So this is what the turquoise blue looks like. Dip my brush in there. Now that's a very dark blue. The bottom of it I can paint darker here. But then if you use a little bit of water, you can make the paint lighter. So it's going to be dark and light blue. Now I want it to be lighter, so I'm just mixing it with water. Alright, so there is my bubblegum portrait. Oil pastel, chalk pastel, and watercolor paint. So it's a mixed media. I want to put this on the drying rack and let it dry. Alright, good luck making your awesome portraits. I can't wait to see how great they turn out.